10 seconds, 5 seconds, start. It is unfortunate that all efforts to avert war in the West have failed so far. We made a determined bid to see that war does not take place, but war has commenced in that area, causing concern to all the people in the world and especially to the developing nations. The impact of the war is going to be on all those nations who depend on this area for oil supplies. Indian economy will be badly hit because of the crisis being created in that area. We made all possible efforts to see that people realize the consequences of this disastrous course, but unfortunately, our voice of reason was not heard by others. We tried to make a last minute effort to avert war by writing letters to big powers. We are sorry that in spite of all our efforts, war has come. Indian people will have to suffer because of the dislocation of supply of petroleum products and also the increase in prices. But I want to assure our people that we have enough reserves to meet the requirements of the country for time being. If the war prolongs for a longer time, we will be hit. Meanwhile, we cannot afford the luxury to indulge in waste because we should conserve every petroleum product to the best of our ability. In the last 40 years of our independence, Indian people all the time have proved equal to the occasion. Whenever a crisis confronted the nation, Indian people made supreme sacrifices to see that dignity, honor, and prestige of the nation is maintained. In this period of crisis, again, I depend upon the willing cooperation of our people and their sense of patience and determined action to meet every challenge that may come before us. It is said that some nations in the world and some people do not realize that no war has ever had a neat ending. Ultimately, it is the humanity which will lose. Destruction of human beings' property and its effect upon environment is going to be enormous. It is unfortunate that this has not been realized by one and all. Even after what has happened, it is our constant endeavor that there should be peace and peace should be restored immediately. But the trend has been the escalation of war. This tendency should be stopped. I appeal to all the concerned people to come to terms so that peace is restored immediately, and then we can think over all other problems in a calm and cordial atmosphere. I realize that time has not passed. Even in this hour, we should make a determined bid to see that peace is restored in this region. We have friendly relations with all countries. Our heart goes out to them when we see the devastation and destruction. This is why we are getting in touch with all the leaders of the world to see that something is done so that goodwill and cordiality is restored again. In this reason, our immediate efforts should be to restore peace in that area. All other matters can be taken care of subsequently. I had a long discussion with the leaders of political parties in this country, and the Indian people are of the view that the first task is that we should restore peace. I was glad that all of them extended their full support and cooperation in meeting the situation, and they also stressed that we should do everything to see that normalcy is maintained in this country. Unfortunately, there are certain tendencies where people try to trade on the misery of common man. Dear sir, we are in receipt of your kind letter of the 25th instant and are extremely happy to know that you have agreed to our best proposal promptly. The fate of the future of your policy is not uncertain as all life insurance companies have been nationalized and are now working on sound and efficient lines under the Life Insurance Corporation of India. The booklet of the corporation will explain you all the details and you will find many favorable schemes, but I would advise you not to go in for any other kind of assurance plans other than the one suggested, whereby you can effect assurance of your life by limited payments with profits to your heirs only after your demise. You will be glad to know about whole life assurance by limited payments with profits scheme. Let us describe it elaborately as under. Under this scheme, the sum assured is payable after demise, but the premia payable are restricted to limited number of years only. The advantages of this scheme are that you are relieved of the botheration of paying premia in your old age and you are aware of the number of premia you will have to pay. Policies under this scheme acquire surrender and paid up value usually after 2 or 3 years premia have been paid. But with profit policies, participate in the profits of the corporation up to the time of death, even after the payment of premia ceased. Yours truly.